Can you beat Pokemon Black 2 only using your rival's team? Finally, we are at the last Nintendo DS game I'll do for this series. The sequels of Gen 5. It always was weird to me that Gen 5 was the only gen to get sequels in the same gen, instead of having enhanced versions. In general, it's one of only 2 games that are sequels. Gen 2 was a sequel to Gen 1, and Black White 2 obviously are the sequels to Black and White, but that's it. Either way, I can't wait to stop playing the DS era games, seeing as they're my 2 least favorite gens, so let's go over the rules. I can only catch and use Pokemon my rival will use the next time we fight him. This also means having the same evolution stage. The only exception to this would be having to use an HM, which none of my Pokemon were able to learn, and in which case I could catch an HM slave that I can never use in battle. Gen 5 phased out mandatory HMs though, so this probably won't be necessary. I cannot grossly overlevel compared to the level of my rival the next time I face him. Passing him in level should not happen at all, really, unless it is unavoidable. I can teach HMs and TMs and learn or forget moves that my rival doesn't, to show a better trainer could make this a better team. No items in battle, only held items, balls for catching, and items outside of battle are allowed. No glitches or exploits, not that I'd know of any to use in these games anyway. As per usual, I write the script as I play through the game, so this part has been written before I start. This is the perfect time for you to guess in the comments down below whether it is possible for me to do this or not. And while you're down there, hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe and ring the bell to never miss an upload. Ready? Then let's go. I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Snivy with Tepig, so both me and my rival can have the same starter. I name my character Deadman as usual, and since this is the last mainline game to let us name our rival, I go with Asshat, as is tradition. We meet Bianca on top of a hill and she lets us choose our Pokemon. I take the Tepig I replaced Snivy with, so my rival will pick the other Tepig. I name it Flare, like the one in Black 1, and fight Asshat for the first time. 1 Tail Whip and 3 tackles later, his Tepig goes down and Flare levels up. So far so good. For the second fight he only levels to level 8, so that should also be all we're doing. After getting tutorialized to hell and back about the Pokemon sent up by Bianca, we get running shoes and our mother apparently needs glasses cause she thinks we have a Snivy. Also, we get assaulted by a dude jumping off a cliff on the way out, but we choose to ignore that. We then level up to level 8 against a trainer on the way and fight our rival a second time. We tail whip once while he tackles, then tackle while he tail whips, and a second tackle crits and takes him out. Boom, level 9 and off to look for Lost Doggo. The next time we'll meet him, it will be way later in Castelia City, where he'll have a level 20 Pignite and a level 18 Pidove. We find the puppy with a guy who says he's with Team Plasma, which is definitely not a team I've ever heard of, and then we can finally go catch Pidove. On Route 20, we one-ball a level 2 Pidove and name it Profanity. If you don't get the joke, watch my Pokemon Black Nuzlocke. Nicely enough, this Pidove's ability is Super Luck, so we can look forward to critting a bunch more than usual. We then get the part with Alder and the 2 kids done, which we use to get Profanity up a few levels, then it's gym time. The 2 gym trainers are easy, so let's skip to Charon himself. He leads with a Patrat, I lead with Profanity. He uses Work Up, I Leer, he tackles, I Leer again, and use my health Oran Berry. Then I switch to Flare, he works up again, while I one-shot with a critical tackle. Next is his Lillipup, and I Ember twice and tackle once, while he uses Work Up and tackle until Flare faints. In spite of the Oran Berry I held. Profanity is back out, gets tackled to 2 HP and crits a Gust for the win. Done. So we get talked to death in front of the gym, then stopped again by Bianca 1 route over, and again stopped by Charon and Asshat another 5 meters later. Can you see why I can't stand this game? So we get the levels of our team up a bit and Flare evolves. Then it's gym time. Roxy sends out Coughing, I lead with Flare. I spam Flame Charge as she spams Tackle. She super potions and I keep spamming Flame Charge until Coughing is down. Second is her Whirlipede and I keep Flame Charging while she goes for Venoshock. Another Flame Charge is enough and Flare goes to level 18, onwards we go. PokeStar Studio Speedrun! Then we beat up Team Plasma and take the boat to Castelia. Here we head for the gym and the gym leader again isn't at the gym. He really doesn't like actually being there, huh? Anyway, we meet Iris and she takes us to the sewer where we will be exploring with Asshead as our tag team partner. So we now have the same team, just with a few levels difference. We'll only get to fight against him again once we enter the World Tournament, where he'll have a team of 3 level 31 mons. With the bird having evolved and him having caught a water monkey and evolved that as well. So we can get a Panpour and a Waterstone ASAP after this. On the way through the canalization we find leftovers and give them to Flare to hold, then we beat up 2 Team Plasma Grunts and the gym leaders as well as Colress come by, and we can finally continue. Up next is the Bug type gym, and we obviously have a type advantage on both our mons here, so let's go over the leader battle real quick. He leads with Swadloon, I lead with Profanity, since I need levels on it more than on Flare, and both my mons have a double type advantage over Grass and Bug type anyway. I go for Air Cutter as he uses Razor Leaf. My second Air Cutter misses, so I quick attack and he keeps Razor Leafing. He potions, I Air Cutter again, he takes me to 2 HP and a final Air Cutter takes out the bug. Next is his Dwebble and I switch to Flare. Couple of Flame Charges and Smackdowns later, Dwebble faints. Last is his Leavanny and obviously Flame Charge is quite effective, so I one-shot and that's it. Up next we meet Colress at the edge of the city and beat up his Steel types with Flame Charge. Before we get to Nimbasa, we first get stopped by some completely unnecessary dialogue, but they seem to misunderstand my reaction to them as some sort of phrase I like or something. Also, I make these two address me properly, and then bail. In Nimbasa, we ignore the city for a moment. I realize I'll need 3 mons to be able to progress past here. Profanity evolves and we make it to Lost Lorn Forest to the right, so we can catch Panpour. Now obviously that is a 10% Rustling Grass encounter, so that took a good while. Just kidding, I got it on the second shaking spot and caught it with an Altar Ball we found nearby. I name it Fountain and then we go see about the gym. Also, about the Waterstone, we're probably gonna get that from Clay Tunnel, as you can find them in the dust clouds there before heading to the World Tournament. Anyway, gym. And by that I mean taking a ride on a roller coaster in the old gym from the first game, because we were told that the gym leader would be there, which she isn't. We get then sent to the new gym and actually fight. So 2 of our 3 mons have an electric type weakness. So we're entirely relying on Flare for this, I guess. Yes. I suddenly have Black 1 Rival Team Challenge flashbacks. So I guess we're getting our team to level 30 or something, cause I can't see Flare actually surviving enough Volt Switches to take out all of her mons. Defense Code plus Rollout is a pretty good start, seeing as it is definitely a one-shot for Emolga, but I'd need at least 2 to hit Flaffy and still land 1 Unsep Striker at full damage, and that all while paralyzed cause Thunder Wave and Static. Maybe using Health Berries to cure those would be a good idea, since the leftovers sure don't seem to help much. So I'd need stupid luck here. But if I start with Defense Curl and then Rollout, I'd get to exactly take her out at the end, unless I get fully parried, miss, or she gets a high roll on one of the Volt Switches. So I don't survive on the last turn. After about half an hour of resets, we get it. She Volt Switches on her first Emolga to Fluffy, I Defense Curl. I roll out, she Thunder Waves. I heal with a berry, Rollout takes her to red, she Thunder Waves again, next turn she Hyper Potions and Rollout kills. Emolga comes back, Volt switches again, Sep Strikers out, runs into a rollout and faints, and Emolga comes back, pursues for some weird reason, and the last rollout hits, and we have the badge. Quite the different approach from what I did in Black 1, but yeah, this time we didn't overlevel. Also, getting the other two to level 30 was probably unnecessary here, as I didn't use them in this battle, but I don't think we have much more to do after this, apart from a mandatory triple or rotation battle before the World Tournament, so let's see. We beat the dude in a rotation battle and go on to the next city. There we actually do still need to fight one, so we take out this old dude from X Team Plasma and get Ensora, who we immediately put into the box cause that thing is illegal in this run. Also, we can't get the water stone from the town I wanted to get it from, so we go to Chargestone Cave instead, which also has those dust clouds. After literal hours, a metric fuck ton of random gems, and a few other evolution stones, I finally find a water stone and evolve Fountain. I guess the gems are going to be useful later, cause why not? Anyway, well, tournament time. Or actually, the gym is first apparently. I literally played this game once, don't blame me for not knowing the order. Also, this means someone is about to overlevel? Thanks to the fact everyone but Fountain is already at 31, and Fountain is our main boy for this gym, as it's a ground type gym. Also, a bunch of the trainers are mandatory, so yeah, by the time we get to the gym leader, we are at level 31 for everyone. I guess we'll still try staying under level 32 as best as possible. So, Clay leads with Krokorok, I lead with Flare to spread the XP out between at least 2 months. Arm Thrust does good damage, but he torments me, so I can't keep using the same attack. I Heat Crash instead, taking him to red. He Hyper Potions, another Arm Thrust brings him to a Sliver, and a Heat Crash finishes him, while I take half my health from the Sand Tomb, and Flare levels to level 32. I switch to Fountain and he sends out Sand Slash. Scald one-shots, and last is his Excadrill, who almost gets one-shot, heals with a berry and dies to a second Scald. And Fountain levels up as well. That leaves us with 2 mons that are overleveled by 1 due to the mandatory battles on the way, so that's fine, tournament time. So Asshat leads with Pignite. Why does Cerebi not list his levels for this correctly? Also, how does he get from this to level 31 in literally no time flat till we face Team Plasma on the ship? Anyway, I count this as being fine cause Cerebi lied to me. So obviously Scald one-shots, his Tranquil comes out, I switch to Flare and roll out 2 shots, and then his Simipour also gets rollouts 2 shot after leaving me with 1 health from Scald. The rest of the tournament is obviously not hard, so we win it. So we go literally 5 meters further south and face Team Plasma. Tell me again how Asshat's team got to level 31 and 33 in case of his starter between the tournament and now. Also, that means Flare wasn't actually overleveled. I just misread that number on the chart. Anyway, after that, Cobalion is like, "Wah!" And then we go through Chargestone Cave. In there, Profanity evolves to Unpheasant and learns Air Slash. On the other side, Professor Juniper gives us a Master Ball, and then we get to the Flying Gym. Okay, so we lose to her first mon immediately. Might wanna get our levels up a bit, cause this team ain't the greatest, honestly. So we get everyone to level 36, which means Flare evolves into Emboar. Yep, still not happening. Okay, let's see, the next rival fight is in Undella with level 39 on Unpheasant and Simipour and 41 on Emboar. So let's try with everyone 2 levels behind that and see where that goes. Yeah, no. This is actually an absolutely stupidly hard gym to do with this team of 3, while also being underleveled. Her Swoobat uses Air Slash and Heart Stamp, both of which can flinch me, plus Attract on top. Bite on Fountain does 2 shot or 1 shot in a crit, but mostly leaves me with half or less health. Her Swanna is even worse. Air Slash is again its main attack, flinching most of the time. I have nothing super effective on it apart from rollout on Flare, but it also has Feather Dance, which gives me a -2 on attack, essentially making me attack her with water moves on Fountain and Air Slash on Profanity. But Flare essentially gets absolutely neutered by that move. Her last mon would be a Skarmory, which I'd probably be able to take out with Flare's fire moves, but I hardly ever get that far because of Swanna. Plus, every single one of her mons outspeeds all of mine. So I guess right at the level limit for the next rival fight it is for the next attempt. So we send out Fountain against her Swoobat, 2 bites and 2 hard stems later we live on half while Swoobat is down. Swanna comes out, Air Slashes, and I bite again. Next turn, Fountain goes down, Profanity's out, and Air Slash from both sides leaves us at half, while her Swanna faints. Last is Skarmory, so we quick attack until it takes out Profanity, and we send out Flare. Heat Crash takes her to literally 1 health, as Air Cutter does very little. She Hyper Potions, I keep Heat Crashing, so 2 turns later we win. About time. After talking to Professor Juniper real quick, we fly over to Lantimus Town and get sent over to Undella Town by the Professor. So to get over there, we need to go through Reverse Mountain and enter the Grand Line. What? What? It's Reversal Mountain? Sorry, must have mixed that up. So we go through Reversal Mountain and fight our rival on the other side. On the way, we overlevel by 1 level on every mon due to the mandatory fights on the way. So he leads with Unpheasant, I send out Fountain. Surf and Scald 2-shot while he tries to go for Razor Wind. He sends his Emboar out next cause he's an idiot and lives a Surf on 1. And then takes himself out with a takedown, cause he's an idiot. Last is his Simipour, so I switch to Profanity and Air Slash with him going for Leer. I then fly while he scalds for most of my health. Finally Fly hits for the knockout, and that's that. With that we can get 1 more level up on Emboar before the next double battle alongside Asshead in Lacunosa. Once there we get abducted to talk to an old lady by Bianca and the Professor. Then we take out Team Plasma with Asshead. Obviously we absolutely stomp them with 2 Emboars, so the next level caps at 50 for Flare and 48 for the other 2. Until the next time we double battle alongside him again. We really don't fight him very often, do we? Or maybe it just seems that way compared to Black 1 having 10 million rival battles. Either way, moving on. We crush a man's dreams of a 1000 win streak, ignore a weird deer that tries to jump scare us, and get to Opelucid for the 7th gym. After making sure to beat all trainers in the gym, cause we kinda have a good bit of leveling we can do now, I opt to use some of the metric fuckton of gems from the search for the Waterstone to make sure we actually do damage to a Dragon Gym, while lacking any of the Ice-type moves. He leads with Dragon, I send out Flare. I have a fighting gem equipped, so I go for Arm Thrust for some damage. After that, I start Rollout. He keeps slashing or using Revenge until he faints from the 3rd rollout. Flygon is out next and takes about half from the 4th rollout, ending Flare with the Dragon Tail. Fountain comes out, uses a Water Gem boosted Surf and takes Flygon out, even if Earth Power took us to yellow. Haxorus is last, and I Acrobatics for about a 3rd and faint after that. Profanity is last on my side, and he Dragon Dances while I fly. He keeps dancing, and the Flying Gem boosted Fly kills Haxorus. Done. I would have had a huge problem without those gems. Off to the probably most epic cutscene in Pokemon ever, with Team Plasma flying a ship into the city and freezing everything. Then we beat up Team Plasma again and get a DNA Splicer that I'll never use. After that we get stopped by calls 2 more times and take an underwater tunnel through the sea to the next stop. I gotta say, as much as I don't like Gen 5 for the stupidly slow progress caused by the cutscene interruptions every 5 steps, graphically they really got all out of the DS. And with Gen 4 getting their remakes this year, I am actually really looking forward to see what Unova would look like on whatever console will come after the Switch. I mean, I don't see the Switch still being supported by the time that happens, if the time it took until they revisited Sinnoh is any indication. Also, if the remakes of Diamond and Pearl are any indication, we're not even gonna get that much of a graphical improvement. Anyway, arriving in the next town, for some reason, getting the next badge suddenly has priority over dealing with Team Plasma, cause logic. Anyway, gym time. If you're looking for the gym leader, he went swimming off in the ocean yelling about the sea. Go look for him if you'd like. I quit! I fucking quit! Stupid ass dragging out the fucking game! So we drag the gym leader's ass back to the gym and feed him his swim trunks for dinner. Can we make progress now? We also fight Team Plasma alongside Asshead again, with his team being the levels I stated earlier. My team is overleveled due to the mandatory fights up to this point. Also, if I'm not mistaken, there is gonna be another one of these fights later, and he won't have leveled up in between, so we can't really do anything about overleveling here. So we press some buttons and do a double fight again. I probably don't need to add that these fights are easy and not worth talking about. Then the ship takes off into the sky, we get thrown off, and then we go to the giant chasm and fight Team Plasma again. Then we get back on the ship, get the keycard and the sacrum as the password, cause if you ever played this game, you know what it is, and fight this guy. Easy. Okay, Colress fight. And fuck this shit. There is no way we can do this at this point with this team while not leveling over level 55 and 57. Also, I just realized we can get a Bouffalant before the next rival fight, so let's do that! Now, for the really fucking stupid part, Bouffalant is available before Victory Road, where we'll need it for the rival fight. However, if I want it now, I'd have to get it from the Hidden Grotto in Route 9. Bouffalant is a 1% encounter in there. There is only a 20% chance for a Pokemon to spawn in a Hidden Grotto to begin with. And resetting the grotto after getting what's in there is only a 5% chance every 256 steps. So basically that's a 5% chance, followed by a 20% chance, followed by a 1% chance, which makes this happening literally 0.01%, or about 7 times less likely than getting any random wild encounter shiny with a shiny charm in Sword and Shield first try. So yeah, we just leveled the team to 1 level below the next cap and go back to Colress. He leads with Magneton, I lead with Flare, I Flame Charge for half, he Thunder Waves, I heal with a Cherry Berry I'm holding, another Flame Charge takes him out. He goes to Magnezone, another Flame Charge again does half and it Thunder Waves as well. Flash Cannon hardly does any damage and a last Flame Charge takes it out. Next is Beheeyem and I go to Fountain. Bite takes half, he flinches, another Bite finishes it. Clang Clang comes out and I go back to Flare, he Shift Gears, I Flame Charge, again taking half, he Thunderbolts me to half, I get fully parried, he misses, Giga Impact, and I Flame Charge for the kill. Last is his Metang, I avoid his first Zen Headbutt and Flame Charge it to low health. The next Zen Headbutt takes me to red, but Flame Charge kills and that's it. We go on to find Ghetsis, beat the 3 ninja dudes, almost get killed, and Sacrum show up, and Ghetsis fuses Sacrum and Kyurem. Time for the epic boss battle with Kyurem Black. Oh. Well then, Ghetsis fight instead. We lead with Flare, cause we don't get to change our team before the fight. Ghetsis goes for a Toxic Stall, and both his Cofagrigus and Flare faint at the same time eventually. His Seismitoad gets 2-shot with Fly from Profanity, but Electros is super effective on both Profanity and Fountain, so we get 1 shot with a Thunderbolt on each. Let's retry leading with Fountain for Bite being super effective on Ghosts. Okay, so we get Toxic and stalled with Protect again. He full restores after I'm about to die, so I send out Profanity to finish this job. Profanity also gets poisoned, but Cofagrigus goes down. Electros is next, so I go to Flare and Heat Crash and Head Smash take it out. Seismitoad is next and I stupidly stay in. Flare misses Head Smash and feints to Earthquake. Profanity is back out and hits one Fly before going down to Muddy Water and the Poison. Well then, this seems to not work so far. Let's try holding an anti-Poison Berry and see whether that helps. Yeah, no, this ain't happening. Flare's already one level over the cap, and for the other two, one level each won't make me magically win either. Also, as I said, I'm not getting a Bouffalant until I can access Victory Road, which isn't until after this. So let's try with everyone on level 60. You can file this under failing the challenge if you want, as with any other challenge where I overlevel cause I can't win a mandatory battle otherwise. So Ghetsis leads with Cofagrigus, I lead with Fountain, a few bites, protects, toxics, and a full restore later, it goes down. With Fountain being toxic and at about half health, he goes to Electros, so I go to Flare. Head Smash takes him to red, while Thunderbolt takes me to yellow, Flame Charge finishes Electros off. Seismitoad is next and I go to Fountain, two Acrobatics take it out, and Earthquake and the Poison leave me with a Sliver. Drapion comes out and I go to Profanity. Fly one-shots. Hydreigon is next, so I go back to Fountain for an Acrobatics. That does half, he crunches for the kill and loses HP from the life orb he's holding. Profanity comes back and Fly takes down Hydreigon after a Rock Slide misses. Last is his Toxicroak and 2 Air Slashes is all that takes. End of battle. Off to Route 23 and finally catch a Bouffalant. I name it Floof and use it on the way through Victory Road to the final rival fight to level it up a bit. So he leads with Unpheasant, I lead with Floof. He U-turns and sends out Simipour, I head charge and he almost goes down. I expect him to hit me again and go for reversal, but he max potions instead, so he hardly takes any damage. I go for head charge again, and between a Brick Break and the recoil, Floof feints along with his Simipour. His Unpheasant comes back and I send out Profanity. Fly one-shots and he goes for Bouffalant. His Bouffalant almost ends up doing the same thing as mine, only living on about 1 HP after Wild Charge recoil, but the electric type move still takes Profanity out. I send out Flare and Flame Charge finishes the Bouffalant. His Ember is last and I miss Head Smash while he Scalds. One Head Smash hits, but recoil and Scald take out Flare. Last is Fountain, who serves Ember off the field for the win. Off to the lead. We'll start with the fighting types. Marshall leads with Throw, I lead with Floof. Head Charge does about a third to him, Recoil and Bulldoze take about a third of mine. Storm Throw takes the rest of my health and I go to Profanity. Air Slash takes him to a Sliver and Rock Tomb does a good damage to me. He full restores and Air Slash does about half. I Fly, he obviously misses and feints the next turn. Conkeldurr is next and Fly one-shots. Sog is out and Rock Slide flinches me. I Quick Attack to at least do something and another Rock Slide kills. I send out Fountain and Acrobatics does the rest for Sog. Last is his Mienshao and Acrobatics one-shots. Done. Up next, Psychic types. Caitlyn leads with Musharna, I send out Floof again. Megahorn does about half and she yawns, so I switch to Fountain to not fall asleep, and she reflects. Bite does very little thanks to that, and she yawns again. Floof is back out and she full restores. Megahorn crits this time and one-shots. Next is a Reuniclus, Megahorn does about a quarter and Focus Blast almost kills. I go to Head Charge for more damage and we both live on a Sliver as she misses. The next turn we both miss and then Megahorn kills. Sigilith is out and kills Floof. Fountain is back, Bite does about half, so does Psychic. Then Bite kills, Gothitelle is last, and Bite does some damage, but Thunderbolt feigns Fountain. Profanity is next and flies it to red, making it use its berry. We survive a Thunderbolt and fly again, taking her to literally 1 HP before Thunderbolt takes out Profanity. Last is Flare and Flame Charge ends the match. On to Dark types. Grimsley leads with Liepard, I still have Floof in front. Fake Out flinches us and Night Slash does some damage before Reversal takes about half his health. Another Night Slash takes us to yellow and Megahorn takes care of the Liepard. Next is Scrafty and Crunch takes out Floof. Scrafty also has Moxie. Profanity is out and flies. Scrafty lives on 1 HP and he full restores. I quick attack once and then fly again, taking out Scrafty. Crocodile is next, and I air slash as he outspeeds with Crunch. I don't think to quick attack next, so Profanity faints. Fountain is out and takes out the Crook with a Surf. Fly Sharp is the last on his side, and I Acrobatics for super effective damage, and then misclick on Waterfall instead of Surf. After a last Surf, his Aerial Ace finally takes down Fountain. Flare is last and outspeeds with Heat Charge, winning us the third fight in a row without having to reset. And finally Ghost. Chantal leads with Cofagrigus, and I still have Floof in front. However, Floof won't do much here, as Ghosts are immune to most moves Floof knows. Anyway, a few Megahorns later, Burn and Psychic take Floof down. Flare is out and Heat Crash does minimal damage, seems the Sarcophagus is pretty heavy. Psychic does good damage to us, Head Smash takes her to red, and Flare goes down. Fountain is next, and we start biting after she full restores. Cofagrigus keeps flinching and goes down eventually. Driftblim is next and also flinches and dies to 2 bites. Chandelure comes out, runs into a Surf and goes back into its ball. And Golurk lives on a Sliver, takes us to yellow and faints to another Surf. Off to the champion. So, fucking Iris apparently has super luck on every mon on top of the normal abilities, cause she just kept hitting crits that mattered over and fucking over again for about an hour. After that, I'm not really into trying without leveling up anymore, so I get the team to level 65 and try again. Iris leads with Hydreigon, I lead with Floof. She uses Dragon Pulse, I Mega Horn her to red. She full restores, I Mega Horn her back to red. One more Dragon Pulse and Mega Horn kills. Next is Hydreigon, and Head Smash takes her to red while she misses Focus Blast. Another Head Smash takes her down. Aggron is out and I use Reversal for good damage before fainting to Double Edge. I send out Flare and Arm Thrust takes Aggron off the field. Haxorus is next and Dragon Dances. Head Smash takes about half her health, and I switch to Profanity to avoid Earthquake. Dual Chop takes us to red and Fly faints to Haxorus. Lapras is next and I go back to Flare. Head Smash misses and Servo almost kills, then Head Smash takes down both mons. I go back to Profanity as her last mon, Archeops, comes out. I try Roosting, but Acrobatics takes me out before that. Fountain is last and Rock Slide takes about half while Surf one-shots for the win. And with that, we have beaten Black 2 with only our rival's team. We had to over-level eventually, but with this limited team, that is honestly not too bad. I'm surprised the Elite Four were that easy. Either way, the next rival team challenge will be in Pokemon X, and other than that, you'll also get some more other runs like the cover art only speedrun of Gold and Silver, as well as some other stuff. I definitely have enough of the DS era games for a while now. In case you're wondering, by the way, I'm probably not gonna do any challenge runs for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, as there shouldn't really be any difference between those remakes and originals from what we know so far. Also, we have no idea yet when or if we'll be able to edit starter choices on that to make any kind of challenges viable for those remakes anyway. For Legends Arceus, we'll definitely do a catch 'em all, as that seems to be kinda the goal of the game anyway, but we'll see if there will be any viable challenges to do in it after that. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video, so leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe and ring the bell to never miss an upload, and until next time, my name is Dr.